Bone loss does not happen overnight, and it rarely starts with pain. It happens quietly, over years, influenced by daily habits, especially what we eat. While some foods help build and protect bone, others slowly weaken bone density without obvious warning signs. Today, we're breaking down the foods that can secretly destroy bone density and why they matter more than most people realize. Bones are living tissue. They are constantly being broken down and rebuilt through a process called remodeling. When breakdown happens faster than rebuilding, bones become thinner, weaker, and more fragile. Nutrition plays a major role in determining which side of that balance you're on. One of the biggest contributors to bone loss is excess sugar. Diets high in refined sugar increase inflammation and interfere with calcium absorption. Sugar also increases calcium loss through the urine, meaning your body pulls calcium from bones to maintain balance in the bloodstream. Over time, high sugar intake creates a net loss of bone minerals, even if calcium intake appears adequate. Ultra-processed foods are another major issue. Packaged snacks, fast food, and highly refined meals are typically low in bone, supporting nutrients like magnesium, potassium, vitamin K, and protein. At the same time, they are often high in sodium, refined carbohydrates, and inflammatory fats. This combination creates an environment where bone breakdown accelerates and rebuilding slows. Excess sodium, or salt, is especially damaging to bone density. High sodium intake increases calcium excretion through the kidneys. For every increase in sodium intake, more calcium is lost in urine. If that calcium isn't replaced through diet and absorption, the body compensates by pulling calcium from bones, weakening them over time. Another overlooked factor is excessive soft drink consumption, particularly cola-based drinks. These beverages often contain phosphoric acid, which can disrupt the balance between phosphorus and calcium in the body. When phosphorus intake becomes too high relative to calcium, bone mineralization suffers. Combined with sugar and caffeine, soft drinks create a perfect storm for bone loss. Caffeine, when consumed in large amounts, can also negatively affect bone density. Moderate intake is usually well tolerated, but excessive caffeine increases calcium loss and may reduce calcium absorption, especially in people who already have low calcium or vitamin D intake. The issue is not coffee itself, but high-dose caffeine combined with poor nutrition. Alcohol is another major contributor to bone loss. Chronic or excessive alcohol intake interferes with vitamin D activation, calcium absorption, and osteoblast function, the cells responsible for building bone. Alcohol also increases inflammation and hormone disruption, both of which accelerate bone breakdown. Over time, this significantly increases fracture risk. Highly refined grains, such as white bread, white pasta, and baked goods, can also contribute to weaker bones when they replace whole foods. Refining removes magnesium, silica, and trace minerals needed for bone structure. Diets heavily based on refined carbohydrates often lack the nutritional density bones require to stay strong. Even certain diet trends can unintentionally harm bone health. Extremely low-calorie diets, restrictive eating patterns, and long-term nutrient elimination can reduce protein, calcium, magnesium, and vitamin K intake. Without enough building materials, bone remodeling shifts toward loss rather than renewal. It's also important to understand that bone health is not just about calcium. Calcium needs proper partners to be effective. Vitamin D helps absorb calcium. Vitamin K helps guide calcium into bones instead of soft tissues. Magnesium supports bone structure and enzyme activity. When diets are heavy in bone-depleting foods and light in supportive nutrients, calcium alone cannot protect bone density. The damage from these foods is slow and silent. You don't feel bones weakening day to day. But years later, it may show up as fractures, posture changes, loss of height, or reduced mobility. That's why prevention matters far more than treatment. The goal is not perfection or fear around food. It's awareness. When bone-damaging foods dominate the diet, bone loss accelerates. When they are reduced and balanced with whole foods, vegetables, quality protein, healthy fats, and mineral-rich sources, bones are given the environment they need to stay strong. Bone health is built daily, quietly, through consistent choices. What you eat today is shaping the strength of your skeleton years from now.